Hey y'all, what's up? I was planning to record this last night, but I thought at that time I was going to be talking more about Big Brother. I was going to be talking more about the chess game that is Big Brother. But going into Saturday night going into Sunday, Michael said that he's going to expose Kyle and that Kyle basically effed with the wrong one. So, going into Sunday, Michael and Brittany go around to the house and talk to the house about the comments that Kyle made about a possible Cookout 2.0 and forming like a white alliance, even though I don't think he used those specific words, but alluded to that. And it was like a us against them kind of thing. Number one, do I think that that was more game, or do I think that it was a genuine concern about Kyle and, whether he is racist or not? I think that it was a little bit of both because of, it's premeditated that Michael actually said, I'm going to expose you. I have dirt on you. I have that video on my page. So part of it was definitely to turn the house against him in the game. And honestly, the fact that he didn't tell the house right away and it was like, I'm gonna work with him and keep this in my back pocket type of thing, shows me that it was more game than anything else. But that's not to say that he doesn't mean what he's saying. It's just to say that he was actually thinking about both scenarios. And I've heard Cody from Big Brother All Stars in season 16 say, like, sometimes when you're in the game, and Derek said it as well, like sometimes when you're in the game, it's hard when you see a situation going on in front of you. You know what you would normally do or say outside of the house, but sometimes in the house you're like, would this be best for my game? And I know some people on the outside looking in, which I am too, would say, no, you gotta stand for truth and justice immediately, because it's more about who you are as a person and your character. And that's fine. But we do have to remember that they are competing for a big amount of money, life-changing money for them. So that's definitely a factor. That's why they go on these shows in the first place. So as Michael goes around telling all the different people in the house, they all have different reactions. It's hard for me to sum that up because the live feed was cut so much. I'm really annoyed at how much the live feed was cut, because it's like I'm reading a book and then I get to a really juicy chapter and then pages are missing. I'm like, okay, oh, look at this part, and then the next page is not in the book. And then I get to another page, the next page is not in the book. So I'm not really going to give an in-depth summary because I don't have one, but Turner didn't seem to rock with it. Turner now says he's struggling between between sending home Taylor or Kyle, both of whom he wants home. Alyssa's reaction was a little surprising to me, saying that she needs space from him, and also kind of protecting Brittany and Michael a little bit when Kyle was like, oh, I know they're just talking about me, they're talking badly about me, and she's just like, oh no, they didn't really say anything directly, they were just alluding to this certain kind of thing. So anyways, I guess what I'm going to do is skip ahead and talk about the Kyle situation itself a little bit. Is it racist? Is it not racist? Well, I'm going to say it's not for me to say whether Kyle is racist or not, but what I am going to say is I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. I have a very diverse background. I grew up in Canada. I went to school in a white rural area. I've had instances of directly being called the N-word, N-word lips, somebody telling me the white part of my hands is the best part of my hands, and all kinds of things that I have experienced that are direct and clear cut in terms of racism. Now, I've experienced institutionalized racism as an adult. I've experienced racism at work. I've experienced it in subtle ways that you can't specifically say this is racism. I can definitively say this is racism, but overall, a body of work makes it obvious that this is racist behavior, right? So something that I don't like as a black man is when people of color are quick to label something as racist with very little evidence of that. So when it comes to Kyle's comments, I can't say that I've seen every second of every live feed. I do know that he has said some ignorant things for sure. And I am not saying that he's not racist. But I would say that there's not enough evidence to specifically be like, cancel that guy. You know, he should not walk the earth because he's a terrible racist who just hates people of color. From what I saw, he said that he's concerned about a Cookout 2.0 forming. He's concerned because all of the people of color have some kind of connection, and he can't help but think about that and worry about that in the back of his mind. Total miss, because as you could see what's going on in the game, mostly none of the people of color are working together. They may have connected in terms of personally, but they've been taking shots at each other since the series started. So as it pertains to Kyle, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, the guy I don't think has had that much exposure to people of color. He's gotten a little bit paranoid in the house. He has said some things, again, that are ignorant. People were telling me that he was saying Monty is loud, or Jasmine is loud, or Taylor is loud, Joseph. I might have got one of those wrong because I didn't see that part of the footage, but just different things people are telling me in the comments. But, you know, overall, I'm not going to classify him as a racist right now until I've kind of seen more and heard more from him, and at that point I'll have further commentary on that. But one thing that I want to say to the community is I don't like when people are making things really divisive and bigger than they should be. If he had made obvious racist comments, racial slurs, or, you know, things that show that he hates people of color because of their skin color, then I would be like, yeah, you know, this guy gotta go. Not with him, don't support him. But in terms of this, I'm like, I wouldn't mind him being out of the house and into the jury house, and, you know, for those different comments that he's made, but I am not like bang the gavel. So please, when you jump on situations like this so quickly, what happens is when people experience bigger situations and situations that you know are very, very clear-cut racism, people tend to be like, y'all are always crying racism. I am a big advocate that stands against prejudice and racism, but I don't want to be in a situation where I jump on every situation like this and it turns into a situation where if I have a real gripe or if I have something real, nobody believes me, which has happened to me before. Not necessarily the dogpiling in this type of situation, but not being believed. That happens too often, and it can happen because of situations like this. I guess I'm kind of rambling a little bit now, but that was my main thoughts on what's happened in the last 24 hours. And I just want to end by saying, CBS, Paramount Plus, please do better, because I feel like this conversation that Monty and Taylor were having in the morning that you kept cutting over and over again every time they got on the topic was really important for America to see. I have watched a bunch of videos of people who are not of color commenting on what they think about this situation, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely allowed. But I think just for educational purposes, if anything, we should see the two people of color, two of the people of color, I shouldn't say the two because there's others, the two that were there and awake at that time, hashing out their feelings about the events of the day and week, what they think about what Kyle said, the aftermath. They were even talking about some of their personal life experiences as black people as the feeds were cutting out. Show that stuff, man. I mean, yeah, so I will keep you guys posted on whatever we were able to see today. And again, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for the feedback. Let me know what you think of this. You know, if you like the video, if you don't like the video, if you like what I've said, you don't like it. Either way, I'm glad for any kind of feedback and discussion, and I will talk to you guys later.